Hi guys, we're going to start our color monster drawing. Before you get started, you need to gather your materials. Find a blank piece of paper. If you only have lines, that's okay, but it's better to draw on a blank sheet of paper. A pencil so that you can erase. I'm going to be using a pen so that you can see my drawing a little bit better, but you want to use a pencil. You can use markers to color or crayons or watercolor or anything you have at home. When I use markers, I like to use a Sharpie to trace my outlines so that it doesn't bleed, but you can also trace your outlines in a black crayon. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to start our color monster with a very simple shape. We have a triangle, and we're going to do two triangles, leaving a space between them to be our color monster's ears. And then we're going to connect it with a zigzag line to make it look like the color monster has some fur. Now on the sides of the color monster, you can do another zigzag line or two straight lines going down to be the sides of the color monster's body. Then to finish the body of our color monster, we're also going to do some more zigzag lines. And I like to do zigzag lines in lots of different sizes to really make it look like fur. Now we're going to add some legs for our color monster. So we're going to do two vertical or up and down lines for each leg. Then we're going to add some feet. So we're going to go to the side and do more zigzag lines for the color monster's toes, and then finish it with a heel. All right, now our color monster needs some arms, and we can do some bendy arms with curvy lines. I'm going to try to straighten this out a little bit, friends, so that you can see the shape a little bit better. All right, so we're going to come out. Maybe my color monster is waving hello. So I'm going to do two matching bending lines going up and more zigzag lines for the color monster's hand. Now for the other arm, I'm going to start thinking about what my color monster might be holding, because I'm going to make a happy color monster. So I'm going to make two bendy lines going this way. And I'm going to think about what might make me happy, and that's food. So I'm going to draw an ice cream cone in the color monster's hand. And you can think about what emotion you want to show in your picture, and you can change what your color monster is holding. So I'm going to draw some zigzag lines to be his hand holding his ice cream cone. Now we have to draw our color monster's face. In the slide, if you were looking at the slide presentation, there were lots of different examples of how you can change the color monster's face to show different emotions. Well, my color monster is going to be super happy. So I'm going to draw a big smile, and I'm going to draw more of those triangle shapes to be his teeth. I'm going to draw one up, and I'm going to draw a couple going down. Now, my color monster is going to be happy, so I'm going to draw these nice curvy lines because he's so happy that his eyes are closed and squinting. And I can't forget my color monster's eyebrows. And eyebrows show our emotions so much. So I'm going to draw curvy lines for my eyebrows by scribbling back and forth, and I'm going to make the letter M with it because the color monster has a unibrow. And the last thing I'm going to do on my color monster is add texture because color monsters are very furry. So I'm going to add lots of little checks to be his fur, and I want to make it smaller than the teeth to help it show up. So now we get to do the background. And when you do your background, think about what your monster's emotion is. Maybe if he's sad, he's in a rainstorm, or the weather is bad in his picture and we add lots of blues and purples and grays. Maybe if he's scared, he's in a scary forest and there's lots of creepy trees. But since my color monster is happy, I'm going to put him in a background that's cheerful. And I'm going to make it simple with some grass and maybe a tree. And then maybe a cheerful sun. And you guys can add other things to your picture like rainbows. And anything else you wish. Maybe you can add some symbols into your picture too. Like if you have a loving color monster, you can add some hearts to your picture. All right, so my color monster is finished. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace him in Sharpie before I color him to help all of the lines show really well through my coloring. If you're using crayon, you might want to use the color black last. But since this is a Sharpie and I'm using markers, it won't bleed and smudge. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to think about what color makes me happy. So usually warm colors like pink or yellow or orange are happier, more exciting colors. So I can do my monster orange, but I'll make it like the book that we read. And I'm going to make a yellow happy monster. But maybe I can add some of my other happy colors into my ice cream cone. All right, so when I color, remember, we talk about in art class to trace our shape. So I'm going to trace my shape so I can fill in neatly and completely. So neatly means I'm going to stay in the lines, and completely means I'm not going to leave white spaces in places where the color white does not belong. And actually, friends, when you use markers, longer strokes are better because it shows less lines when you color. So I'm going to leave the teeth white because that's where the color white belongs, and be careful not to miss any spots in other places. All right. I'm going to keep coloring my color monster and show you my finished result. Here is my finished color monster with his very warm, happy colors like lime green, yellow, orange, and pink. And also I outlined all of my lines with either marker in colors or marker with Sharpie. Again, if you can't use Sharpies at home, you could use a black crayon or a black marker at the end of your drawing to trace all of your lines. And of course, I've added texture for my hairy grass and my fluffy trees. So I hope you enjoyed coloring your color monster, and please upload a picture either to Artsonia or Seesaw.